radio that there was a U.S. airplane crash, and it was like you got scared and sick at the same time.
On September 8th, 1994, close to 7 p.m., U.S. Air Flight 427 experienced a sudden malfunction in the radar system, which caused the plane to fall out of the sky and crash into the side of a hill at over 300 miles per hour, killing all 127 passengers and 5 crew members. One of the people on that flight was my grandfather, Joseph Kuhn. Here's that story.
My name is Joseph Kuhn Jr. Joseph Kuhn Sr. was on the plane, and he was my father.
My name is Todd Kuhn. I'm the son of Joseph Kuhn.
My name is Linda Kuhn. I was the wife of Joseph R. Rex Kuhn.
I happened to be at the bowling alley, and my mother had called in, and as soon as I picked up the phone and it was her, I knew what had happened.
Immediately just left the building and drove over to her house.
The day of the crash, I actually had been or was in Myrtle Beach vacationing for that week. Really didn't know anything about it until later that evening, and I got a message from the desk to call home, and that's what I did, call home. I think Joe, your dad even was the one that I was talking to, and I just I don't believe you. And so I turned on the TV, and they were kind of showing the crash footage, and then so I just kind of hit home.
The FBI came to our house, or my mom's house rather, and they confiscated my dad's rearview mirror off his vehicle at the time, and a few other odds and ends at his home desk. They went to the office where he worked and took his computer keyboard and some other pens and pencils and things of that nature, so that they could try to identify remains. And so that was kind of the proceedings. There afterwards, the airline set up travel and lodging arrangements for numerous amount of relatives.
And just as we were taking off from Clarksburg to go into Pittsburgh, something had hit the propeller of the plane, whether it was a bird or what, but it kind of shocked me a little bit, but everything was fine.
About approximately 1 year later, in 1995, there was a memorial service at Swickley Cemetery, just outside of Pittsburgh. And at that time, they had a big stone marker with all the people that was killed on the plane, names inspired on there.
Pretty elaborate thing. They flew everybody up, and of course they had created a nice memorial with some, had the names of the victims on the monument.
I didn't go up to Swickley, Pennsylvania. Your dad and Uncle Todd went when they have the 1 year anniversary. They gave everybody seeds to plant there or trees to come back, because it destroyed a lot of that ravine area where the plane came down.
Since that time, my mother and I had been up there one additional time there after that, to that cemetery on our own, but not since then. And so it'll be 28 years this coming September.
The U.S. Air bought that hillside up in Swickley Cemetery, and so they could have, they had these 2 boxes, the cement boxes that they placed on each side of the marker, and family members could write a card, and they had the lids off of them, and it's like a time shell. But you could go up and put the card in there, or a picture, or something like that, and then all those were sealed, 2 boxes were sealed over. Let's see, your dad and I went at one time, and he videoed it, and I think that was the only time I went, other than for the memorial service.
I knew he was out of town, but usually he took the later flight back, or, you know, and I assumed that was the one he was on, which that was originally the one he was supposed to be scheduled on.
But because their meeting ended sooner, he caught an earlier flight just so he could get back and spend time with my mom. Ended up being the wrong flight to get on.
So somebody has even gone through this, even remotely, you have no recollection of how you can even deal with it. It's just like force infinity as far as stress.
Joseph Jr. describes Kuhn as a devoted father who always made time for his wife and children.
My brother and I was going to have to be extremely very supportive for my mother because they were very close. They probably had the best marriage of any two people that I know.
And even after long days at work, come home, he had time for Mom, and you know, it was a good husband and a father, and really it was just terrible to not have him around still.
We had a great relationship. You know, we were high school sweethearts, so, you know, we went back a long ways and everything was good. Joe, you know, was a great father. He helped take care of the boys and, you know, help with them of a night and everything, and, you know, just all around great father, the best it could be. Life was always good for us, and, you know, we did a lot of things together, and it was a lot of fun having the boys and growing up with them. Essentially, we grew up with them since we were young, and you know, it was a good life, and you know, I was glad I got to have that life. So,
You kind of find your closure as time progresses. In this particular situation, since we don't really know what caused it, we just kind of have to just deal with every day, and you know, I think time helps heal to some degree, or helps you forget a little bit.
For now, the Kuhns have turned to a poem to move on. The last of it reads, "When you are lonely and sick at heart, go to the friends we know, and bury your sorrows in doing good deeds. Miss me, but let me go."